Ladies and gentlemen, the Windshield Deep Racing League is back for season number 3 here for the Blondeez Good American Foods Fairgrounds 150 live from the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. And we are getting ready to get going. My name is Sean Butler. Kevin McAdams in the booth here with us. Rich Kolsla along here with us as well, pushing the buttons in the proverbial truck. And welcome on in, everybody. Race number 1 of season 3. Big story coming in. No surprise here. A lot of heavy hitters back. Cody Kelly, Casey Pierce is back with us. Andy Trupiano, 2-time series champion, is here with us again. And Kevin, it's going to probably be more of the same here with season number 3, but I think we're going to be slightly more competitive here than season 2.
Yeah, looking to see if Cody Kelly can continue his dominance. One thing that we saw all season 2, easily the best car every single race. Just couldn't get it done, a lot of them. Only won 2 races, and we saw Andy Trupiano, I believe, was winless last year. Got season 2 title, got the season 1 title as well, looking to defend that crown for a 3rd time, get that triple crown. But we're excited for tonight. A lot of newcomers, but a lot of familiar faces tonight.
Absolutely. So, and of course, Cody Kelly, your defending winner of the short track shootout from Richmond International Raceway last month, the last big Windshield Deep publication. So it went very well for him. Had outdueled a lot of the big heavy hitters on sim racing: Ray Alfala, Jimmy Mullis, Zach Novak, a lot of Coke drivers. So Cody, I'd say, has established himself as one of the bigger names, so to speak, on the short track scene of iRacing. And he picks up right where he left off in that race by nabbing the pole here at Nashville. On his outside, we got Casey Pierce. Grayson Ward is back in the league as well. He'll be rolling off 3rd. There's Landon Huffman, that familiar 75 Windshield Deep Monte Carlo. He'll roll off 5th. Spencer Dickinson 6th. 2-time series champ Andy Trupiano 7th. Talon Pelfrey, Jacob Hayes, Dylan Wilson, and Drew Cox will round out the top 10. And we are about ready to get set to go here. Pace Truck is ducking off. And the 3rd season of the Windshield Deep Racing League is green from Nashville. A very good start for Casey Pierce going into turn 1 as he's got the preferred groove on the outside. And it looks like he might clear him coming off a 2. But Cody Kelly's got the run down the back.
Early advantage for Casey Pierce gone quickly. Cody Kelly going to take the lead. And he's probably going to look to set sail early here, Sean. Right now, has that lead. Grayson Ward getting underneath the number 18 machine. Very familiar number 18 in this league. And he's falling back to 3rd. Landon Huffman 4th. Andy Trupiano 5th. Single file pretty early. First battle is going to be all the way back. I believe that's going to be for position number 9. That's Drew Cox looking a bit further back. We got a lot of action in the back of the pack right now.
So there's a full field of 43 cars in this race. We got to touch on that. So this place is packed. We have a wreck already in turn 3. Jacob Bransky in the 03 is in the tire barrier, and Anthony Woody in the 31. No caution. We stay green. So RJ Williams, our official, does not throw the caution, as he's very known for doing in this series. And there's the caution. So better late than never, I guess. And that's for another wreck. Big wreck coming out of turn 4. I see Joey Bailey is slow. Max Price in the 22. So that didn't take long. Lap number 4. We're under caution. Let's see what happened here. As we look through, I'm seeing there's a big wreck coming off of turn number 4. We'll see it in just a second.
I'm going to look at the first incident. This is Anthony Woody. This is what was the first incident. Didn't bring out a caution. I believe the second incident, once Anthony gets going here, I believe the second incident was Jack Bailey doing almost the same thing, a little bit high off of turn 3 through turn 4, and just absolutely lost it right in front of the field. So it collected a few guys.
It's going to be the 2 of Jack Bailey. So watch this. This is very strange. We've seen he just kind of loses it going to the corner, and then watch what his car does. Just I can't explain that. So
who hit him there?
That was the 22, I believe, of Max Price that grazed him there, but it was just a 2-car incident. So that was, in typical Windshield Deep fashion, a very bizarre incident. So one of probably many that's going to be, I don't want to say plaguing the league, but it's going to be a constant theme. But nonetheless, Kevin, we are under caution number 1 of season 3.
Yeah, Sean, and I'm really curious to see what this expanded field does for the pace of the race. We saw last year and in the first season a 30-car limit, a hard cap on every single race, and even then, the back, 25th on back caused a lot of the problems, a lot of the cautions, with almost a 40-car field taking the track here at Nashville. It's going to be a long night for these guys, and something that we will have to talk about later on. There are limited tire sets here in this league. Going to be 2 sets in the pits, 1 already on the car. So we've seen a lot of people win races by taking tires early or taking tires later, and lose races as well.
And I hate to say it, Cody Kelly knows that all too well. So it's very puzzling. So he wins the big windshield deep events, and then he just constantly shoots himself in the foot every race, it seems, when he's dominating. So he only has a couple of windshield deep racing league wins to his credit, but he is by far the favorite every week. So it's going to be interesting to see. Now he's got a couple big wins, or I should say one of these big wins under his belt, how he can translate it to this league. But, I got to say, I mean, I don't think he should have a problem at all. So we're working lap number 8 right now on the board. So we got 2 laps until the green. So let's go ahead and do a brief rundown. You see the left side of your screen with the ticker going down. Cody Kelly in the 5 car is your leader. Grayson Ward in the number 9 Ward Performance Monte Carlo will be rolling off in second. Casey Pearson, that very familiar number 18 windshield deep media Monte Carlo. He needs to change the look of that paint scheme. It's been the same way for like 3 seasons. Speaking of the same paint scheme, Landon Huffman has not changed his either.
His late model car. Why would he change it?
Thank you, Kevin. So Landon Huffman in the 75 and the windshield deep media Monte Carlo will be coming through in 4th. Andy Trupiano 5th. Spencer Dickinson 6th. Talon Pelfrey 7th. Got to go to Drew Cox in 8th. Dylan Wilson 9th. And rounding out the top 10 is Jacob Hayes. Jacob changes his scheme a little bit in that 1 car.
I like it.
Actually looks pretty darn good. So we got a bunch of new paint schemes we'll be dabbling into as the race goes on here, but we're half a lap away from going back to green.
Yeah, Cody Kelly looking to pace the field once again. Like I mentioned before, dominated here at Nashville. We had a long green flag run here last season, and it bode well for him, not having to worry about tire strategy as much. Pace truck is off, and the green flag is out. Much better start here for Cody Kelly. Doesn't have to worry about being side-by-side into turn 1. Going to get single file from first and second. Behind him, first battle is going to be between Landon Huffman and Casey Pierce. And I'm hearing a lot of contact in the back of the field. Not sure if there's an incident, but we're going to have to keep an eye on that. Nothing quite yet. Jack Bailey is blown up in turns 1 and 2, but caution is not going to wave as of right now. Leader is green, and there's another incident. That's a huge incident in turn 1. That's going to be Eric Wilson is around. Dexter Knipe is through it.
Seth Harrelson, Davey Davis.
Real big crash. A lot of congestion in turns 1 and 2, and that's going to bring out our second caution pretty quick here, Sean.
See where this started. I think it started off of turn number 4. We'll get a replay here.
They're almost 3 wide.
They were 3 wide, I believe. Eric Wilson was in the middle. Mason Maggio was also involved in this. So Eric Wilson in the 4 is going to be the start of this thing, as you see. Just on the bottom right of your screen there, as just ahead of Davey Davis that you're watching. He gets kind of ping-pong balled in the middle, 3 wide coming off of 4, and that just caused a chain reaction, and not a lot of people had a lot of time to avoid, as it looks to me like Davey just got stopped, but the 07 of Seth Harrelson got so bad for Seth, man. He gets the short end of the stick in a lot of these wrecks, and season 3 is not off to a good start for Mr. Bearded himself.
Tough break there for Seth. He's not running the Crimson car. I mean,
he isn't.
He's got to go back to it. I think it's bad luck not to run it. He's done really well in that Crimson machine. Going to be a short-lived night for him in that 07. Already has a blown engine. That's going to be a tough break for him. Hopefully he can do better the rest of the season. But like I mentioned, I think we're going to have a lot of issues with cautions here, Sean. Hopefully not, but a much larger field than we've ever had. We're already down to 34 cars in the lead lap, but I think it's going to be a night of attrition for sure.
Well, the guy that knows a thing or two about throwing cautions in the league is, we'll go ahead and bring him up. RJ, we're starting the season off with getting an interview with you already. So we're 2 cautions in and 14 laps in. What are you feeling so far throughout this thing?
Typical windshield deep fashion here. Hopefully a lot of these boys will weed themselves out and we'll get a good race going, but we'll see here.
So one more question for you before we let you go. We usually do the over-under here. And,
what are we at now? 2, 3?
We're at 2. So I'm thinking maybe 11's usually the
I like 11.
Number.
Let's do 11.5 so you can actually go over or under.
You know, I was feeling 10, so I'm going to be on board with you guys at 11.
All right, so there you have it, 11. RJ, we'll let you get back to it. We'll be pulling you up here in a moment's notice later on, so don't worry. So just be ready. Don't be cussing up a storm too much down there.
I'll try. I'll hold my tongue.
All right, man, go get him.
See y'all.
Well, as usual, RJ is in officiating mode tonight, so he's a man of few words, as he should be. He's doing a great job so far. I don't know about that first caution though. That first caution was a little late to come out, in my estimation.
Well, I mean, I think the philosophy is if it's not affecting anyone else, they're not going to throw it. That was pretty consistent in season 2. That second incident definitely affected other drivers, but so far 2 cautions, and I believe we've only got 5 or 6 laps under green, so tires not really an issue at the moment for Cody Kelly and the rest of the field. But if we can get a green flag run here, we'll have to start playing with the idea of pitting. Maybe if you split it, it's a 150 lap race. Maybe if you split it 50 and 50, that's the way to go, but we'll just have to see how it plays out.
Also, I want to send a big thank you to SP Snow 80 on Twitch. Gifted 10 gifted subs to everyone in Twitch. That's 10 of you that are watching. So if you got a gifted sub, be sure to thank him. Love to see that here as the pace truck is going to be ducking off. We're getting ready to go back race, and it's going to be Cody Kelly and Grayson Ward leading him to the green. A good restart for Kelly. He gets on going, clear of everybody. Looks like Ward is going to be clear as well. So the battle is going to be between Landon Huffman and Casey Pierce for third.
Windshield Deep Buddies here for third place. Landon has that bottom line, but the preferred groove going to be on that outside line with Casey Pierce. Going to draw even as I go through 3 and 4. Landon trying to navigate those bumps on the bottom. Looks like he's doing a pretty good job keeping that inside line running as fast as he can. But right now, behind them, single file, and now they're going to start single filing out. Looks like Landon's going to get the advantage.
So off of turn number 4, single file. Got to go back to Jacob Hayes in the 1. This is going to be the battle all the way back for 9th as Hayes goes around the 77 of Dylan Wilson. And now Dylan is under pressure from Josh Caudle in the 13. Another new paint scheme on the track here. Pretty solid looking car for Josh as they're trying to work each other over for 10th. And Josh has the run off the corner and he gets clear of Dylan. So move Josh Caudle into the top 10. And right now, everyone pretty much single file for the first, I would say, 12 positions. And we got another wreck on the backstretch here. So third caution of the race.
Anthony Woody again.
The usual suspect. So Anthony Woody in his third wreck of the race. And I think he had a little bit of help in this one as we'll get a replay in just a second. It looks like he and the 68 of Brian Smith making contact off of 2. And that's it's not good. Anthony Woody's 3 for 3, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like Anthony Woody just had some contact with Brian. I'm not sure.
Very low off the corner.
Yeah, I got to get a better look at it. It looks like Anthony just doesn't track out to the wall, and Brian didn't anticipate that. He was involved in that last caution, so he's just trying to get his way through the field again. But tough break for both of these guys. And you mentioned it before, and RJ mentioned it before. I think it's just going to be a matter of getting this cleaned up, doing a little bit of self-cleanup, and getting the guys who, Anthony just did not go very, very high off the corner. But it's going to be a matter of these guys who are in the back half of the field kind of just wiping themselves out before anything gets cleaner as we're on the third caution, 22 laps in.
All right, so I guess while we have a second run under caution, we'll go ahead and take a quick commercial break here and gonna re-rack them before we hit the restart. Don't go anywhere, though. Be right back for restart number 3 here of the initial Windshield Deep Race of Season 3. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Excellent job, Kevin, with the hot mic. But we are back here on the Windshield Deep Network here. Thank you very much for tuning in. Under caution, big surprise here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. If you're just joining us, you have not missed a thing. Well, besides a couple wrecks. But race number 1 of the 2021 Windshield Deep Racing League season. This is the 3rd official season. You're watching the Fairgrounds 150 presented by Blondeez Good America Foods. And Kevin, it's much more of the same so far. Cody Kelly leading and the field pacing behind him.
I would assume so, Sean. We were under caution before the commercial, but thanks. Cody Kelly is your leader. Grayson Ward in second. Both these guys were really good in the late model events that Windshield Deep hosted, so it does not surprise me to see them at the front here at the short track at Nashville Fairgrounds. Landon Huffman in 3rd, Casey Pierce 4th, Andy Trupiano, your 2-time champion, in 5th, Drew Cox 6th, Spencer Dickinson 7th, Talon Pelfrey. What a great start so far for his season 3. One of the younger participants in the Windshield Deep Series had a rough go of it in season 1 and season 2, but so far so good for the number 8 machine. He went to training camp, I think, with the Windshield Deep boys, and he's learned a lot to be in 8th place. Jacob Hayes 9th, and Josh Cottle in 10th.
So it went to the Total Advantage Academy there that landed just.
Yeah, that's a good plug. Hey, look at that.
There we go. So got a couple cars that look like they're out of the race so far. So I don't see the 38 of Michael Robinson or the 19 of Ethan Tingler in there. So they are not on the racetrack. The 03 of Jacob Bransky was involved in a couple of incidents. The 2 of Jack Bailey is sitting on pit road. The 07 of Seth Harrelson also on pit road. The 22 of Max Price as well. So we started off with 43. I believe we're down to about 32 around there. But I think that number could get smaller by the time the night is out, and I don't think it's a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah, the way these wrecks have been transpiring in the back half of the field.
Ooh.
Doesn't look like it's going to be a clean night for the rest of these guys, but Pace Truck is off once again to start the race. Cody Kelly, another fantastic start, has nailed it every single restart. Didn't really do it on the initial start, but going to take the lead over Grayson Moore. They're going to single file out. Once again, first battle for position going to be for Landon Huffman and Casey Pierce. Landon gets really, really loose on the bottom of those bumps there out of turn 2, and Casey Pierce is going to draw it even in turn 3.
Yeah, so one thing about Nashville, if you got a couple distinctive lines you can run, but that bottom is extremely bumpy, so you got to know how to navigate the bumps. The preferred line is about where Casey is in the 18, at least exiting the corner. You see the run he's going to get, but it looks like Landon's going to be able to hold him off, and he's able to slide into the 3rd spot. So again, pretty much single file. Got to go back a little bit further to, I believe, nope, he just cleared him. Matt Kingsbury in the 51, just clearing the 64 of Mason Maggio. But is Mason locking up every time he goes in each corner?
I'd have to take a look. Oh, Mason going to almost put Kingsbury into the wall. Different number for Mason this year. Ran the 00, or was it the 00 or the 99? Either way.
99 last year.
Number 64 in that old Milwaukee Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Different look for him, all the way up to 12th now. But single filing out once again. Really close racing. And one thing that we need to keep an eye on, I keep mentioning tires, the distinct racing grooves. The fast line is definitely the 2nd or 3rd lane, but if you can get that bottom rolling and you keep it down there, you can save tires very well on that bottom line. We saw it last season with Kyle Barnes. He stormed through the field using that bottom line, and we'll probably see that later on in this race.
So first battle appears to be, again, Dylan Wilson sliding back, but look at this. The iconic 555 of Dexter Knipe is trying to make his way up through the field. Right now, he is currently sitting, I believe, in 15th, as he started back in 23rd, and he has made his way up to 15th. So he's trying to make his way through the field as we're on board with the 23 of Matt Light just ahead of them. He's currently side by side with the 64 of Mason Maggio. This is going to be the battle for 12th.
Yeah, a lot of battles right now in the back half of the top 15. Looking like we're going to be 3 wide. Got the Kingdom cars around Mason Maggio. Mason going to make quick work of the 56 of Daryl McKee. Daryl going to lose 2 spots here potentially. Looks like he's going to. Matt Light underneath him. Might lose 4. Matt Light gets a little bit loose underneath that 56 machine, and that's going to possibly concede the position for him to Dexter. Here comes Dexter on the inside line behind them. He's got a snarling pack.
So I got to do it. So the conglomerate wants us to kind of get an update. Let's get a Davies Doobies update. So we're going to go to the 305 of Davey Davis in that bottom split Monte Carlo, just chilling back there. There he is off of turn number 4. Added some guy's face to the right side of that car and left side of the car. I'm not sure if you can see it, but whoever that is.
Oh, yeah, you can see it behind
there,
it.
There you go. So, we have another caution. It appears to be, I think it's off of, I don't really see anything. I see, there it is. The 99 of Garrett Gowan is very slow.
Hey, Sean, do you want to take a look on what the hood is on that car?
Yeah, it's Big Sexy. It's a legend. Rocking the windshield deep, and we're going to see a replay here. So he goes into turn number 1, and he just running way too high, clips the wall, and then just spins it on down. A single car incident, surprising. I remember, I don't know if they changed the policies, but RJ said he wasn't going to throw a yellow for a single car wreck. So I guess they make an exception for that.
Well, was there anyone in the proverbial way with that caution? Was the 99 in the way?
I don't know,
Does
Kevin.
anybody-
You're perfectly capable of watching the replay like
Well,
everybody else. What do you
Well,
think?
we'll take a look. It looks maybe not. Oh, he almost hit the 68. Maybe that's why. But that's going to bring out our fourth caution, and that's a tough break for Garrett. I know he's new to the service. I believe he's another driver that's going to the TA Academy. He's been working hard with Landon Huffman and Dylan Wilson, and tough break so far, but long way to go. I believe he's going to be a lap down here. I'll have to wait for the scoring to officially reset as they cross the line, but real early on, he should be all right.
All right. Well, speaking of Landon, Landon, you're probably giving it to Garrett after that, right?
Yeah, we just had a long team conversation. Not happy with the number 99 big sexy machine at the moment.
So it looked like he just spun it all by himself going into one. Now, you mentioned before the race that the third line or even fourth line, you said, does come into play. Were you relaying that to him, telling him that now, and he maybe just tried it there? Because it looked like he just drove it straight in the wall going into one.
I don't think Garrett was trying to run any particular line. I think he's just trying to keep it between the inside wall and the outside wall, if I'm being completely honest.
All right.
Yeah, but no, the outside lane, I was tickling with the fourth lane there a little bit while I was running in front of Casey. I think there's definitely some potential there. We just got to see what happens. This thing, I'm starting to get free, so that's going to get scary. If we all get really loose right here, it's probably going to get pretty hairy quick.
So let's get an update on your race really quick now that we're done giving Garrett a hard time. But you're sitting third right now. Been sitting up there the entire time. So if this thing goes green for more than 5 laps, think got anything for the two in front of you?
I'm gonna have to beat Cody on pit strategy, but I've done that before, so I'm not too worried about it.
Oh wow, just get it out of the way early then. So Cody, Cody's took home all the money in the last windshield deep event. You think you got anything for him? I think he's established himself now as a heavy hitter in these things.
Yeah, for the last 2.5 months, windshield deep's paid Cody Kelly's rent. So I don't know. We're trying not to do that again. We actually have multiple hits out on him in this league, so we'll see what happens. Cody's a good racer. He's always fast. I gotta hope my crew chief's better than his, I guess.
All right, man. Well, go ahead and work that pitch strategy to perfection. We'll hopefully be talking to you later on in victory lane here, man. Go get him.
Have fun, boys.
Landon talking smack early. I didn't think he'd be doing it this early, but here he is. So, all right, pace truck is off, and the aforementioned Cody Kelly is going to lead him down with Grayson Ward. Another good restart. He's going to get clear, and I think Casey Pierce might try to make a play to second, but the top 3 will clear, and it's going to be between Pierce and Huffman again through 1 and 2.
Pierce had that brief advantage over third of Landon Huffman, but here comes Landon back on that inside line. Had a great lift, or a great shot off of turn 2. Has the lead right now for third. And I believe there's another set of incidents. Jacob Hayes is around in turn 4. He's going to be across the track, and that's going to bring out probably our 5th caution.
There it is.
There it is. Jacob Hayes, I believe, got loose out of turn 4. Going to have to look at the replay once again.
Well, I think.
And, maybe he came down. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see it here because Jacob tried to cut it down underneath Talon Pelfrey, but Matt Kingsbury in the 51 was there. So I think Matt Kingsbury says he caused it, but I don't know
about that one.
He held his line, so I'll have to put that on Jacob Hayes there. So again, in this league, if you do cause a wreck, you are sent to the back of the field. So I might consult with RJ on that one. So I'll give him a second to make the ruling, but we'll see what they say. But from our vantage point, it looks like Jacob Hayes will get that dreaded EOL penalty.
Well, we'll have to see because I've seen where someone will claim the wreck and then RJ will overrule it. And, typically if you're in a league like this and someone claims the incident, that's pretty much it in terms of officiating. If someone takes fault, you pretty much move on. But we'll have to see if Jacob Hayes gets put to the back or if Matt Kingsbury, with that claim, if he assumes responsibility, if they put him to the back of the field.
So again, those of you just joining us, you are tuning in to the first round of Season 3 of the Windshield Deep Racing League. Whether you're watching on Twitch, the Windshield Deep socials on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, we appreciate you hanging out with us for a little while. 150 laps around the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. And again, it's if you're new to the Windshield Deep Racing League, you know that fireworks happen early and often, and so do sparks. And Kevin, we've seen with the new iRacing Spark update, they fly early and often, and they've been flying early and often so far in this race. So, but not too I would say, unfamiliar sights at the front of the field. Cody Kelly is still your leader. Grayson Ward second, Landon Huffman third, the usual suspects. Casey Pierce in fourth. Two-time series champ Andy Trupiano in fifth. Drew Cox is in sixth. Spencer Dickinson seventh. Talon Pelfrey eighth. Mason Maggio holding strong in ninth, and Josh Caldwell rounds out the top 10.
Gonna put Matt Light in 11th. Dexter Knipe Jr. in 12th. Dylan Wilson 13th. Cody McMarmels? Is that how you say that?
The Marmals.
The Marmals, I'm sorry. Did not see the DE. I thought it was an MC. My
Clearly.
apologies. Chris Davis officially looks like he'll be in 15th now that Kingsbury is being moved to the back of the field. Oliver Cordell in 16th. Kevin Light in 17th. Davey Davis. Davy's Doobies.
Davies Doobies.
Have you observed Davies Doobies? Dominic Corelli in 19th. And Derek Nickel, newcomer Derek Nickel. I've not seen him in the league in Season 1 or Season 2 in that number 11 machine. He will round out the top 20, Sean.
And there's another familiar face there. Ricky Harden is going to be in 21st. Cameron Bolin will come through in 22nd. Lance Ripka, 23rd. Joe Penley, 24th. Anthony Woody has been in 3 accidents so far, but he's holding strong in 25th. Brian Smith in 26th. And we got to go back to Jacob Hayes is back there as well. Seth Harrelson, Lee Norton, Brett Punkari, Jack Bailey, Daryl McKee, and Eric Wilson. And coming across the line right now are Matt Kingsbury and Garrett Gowan. So big field here. It's slowly getting more and more whittled down with each wreck. And upon further review, Matt Kingsbury was given an EOL penalty for that last wreck. So that's I'm not really sure about that, but the official might have seen something we didn't. As Cody Kelly blinks to start the restart, but he's back as that checks the whole field up. And Landon says he misses a shift going into 1.
Yeah, Lennon Huffman, tough break there. Doesn't really lose a ton of time. Going to definitely lose third position over Casey Pierce there, but that's going to make the battle for fourth that much more interesting. Andy Trupiano on that high line, going to be the preferred groove. I'm sorry. Andy Trupiano on the outside. And Landon Huffman once again relegated to that bottom, stuck on that bottom side, but he seems to get a really good run out of turn 2, but then he hits that bump, and that's going to stop that momentum.
Very tricky to get around that bump, especially off of turn number 2. But he's doing a good job keeping it down there. Andy Trupiano, again, that brand new paint scheme. Newest member of Low Line Racing is Andy Trupiano, so he's representing them on that vehicle tonight. Still battling with Landon, though. I don't know if that's going to help his tires down the road. But still, Landon, I'm surprised he's holding that bottom strong, as you said. And Andy might just have to see if he can concede, but he's got the 63 of Drew Cox all over the back of them. And right behind them is Spencer Dickinson. And it looks like, are you stop chewing on your chew toy, Kevin? Is it?
I can confirm or not deny.
Okay, thank you. So it looks like they're all going to sort it out there. So Landon is going to settle in front of Andy Trupiano, and Drew Cox now taking a peek underneath the 7. But everyone pretty much single file. Got to go all the way back to Chris Davis and Cody DeMarmels back for the battle for 16th.
Another newcomer in the league, Chris Davis and the Doobie Brothers number 12 machine, looking like he's doing pretty well. I was a little bit apprehensive for these guys to join. You know, they run the moon car kind of leagues. You never know what these Doobie Brothers can bring to the table, but so far so good. Both of these guys are going to be in the top 20. You got Davey in front of him in 14th, Dexter in the middle of the two brothers there, and then Chris Davis looking to get into the top 15, looking low on the 555 machine of Knipe, and behind him has a battle for position as well. Here comes Kevin Light behind him.
Got a big group of cars back here. The 67 of Cameron Bolin is back here. The 11 of Derek Nickel. Dominic Corelli is there as well. And Cody DeMarmels, the aforementioned Cody DeMarmels, is back here. This is all a battle for around the 20th position. So you got about 10 cars right under a blanket right here. It's just a little further ahead. You see Dexter Knipe in the 555 and Cameron Bolin, that all red 67, as he's going to make the move. So move Cameron up to 17th. And right now, you're looking at the most exciting action on the racetrack right now. There is a slight battle going on a little bit further ahead of the field. So let's go ahead and do a brief little rundown so far. You see those 3 cars right out front there, Grayson Ward and Cody Kelly. Those are your front 2. You got the lap car of Jack Bailey in the 2 car. He's in 35th, so he is not for position. Landon Huffman back there. And then you see this battle right here on your screen. Casey Pierce in the 18. Andy Trupiano in the 7, Drew Cox in the 63. This is all for 4th. So they're all starting to get bunched up here, and the tires are starting to get more and more worn, Kevin. We're seeing a lot more drivers sliding the rears off the corners now.
Yeah, we're gonna have
Oh,
contact.
Casey gets
Casey Pierce and
turned.
Drew Coxon make contact. Sorry about that. They no caution. They got it back going. Right
What a
before we went to this action, Landon Huffman got around him, and
Oh.
then there's the caution again. I don't see what it's for. Dexter Knipe is slow. Might be for something involving him, but caution going to be
Yeah.
out again, and it is for Dexter Knipe. We'll have to get a replay, but there was contact between him and the number 11 machine of Derek Nickel. We'll have to get a quick replay on that. But that'll bring out our 6th caution, and we have officially hit just over 1/3 of the way in. So do you keep your tires that you have on here now, Sean, or do you wait?
Well, if we've seen anything from this race, track position has been very, very key. And because all the wrecks have been happening, in the latter portion of the field from 20th on back. So if it were me, I would hang on to these tires as long as I can because they can't be that worn now. I think this is by far the longest run we've went on them. So we've gone, how long was this last run?
Landon Huffman is in.
Landon Huffman is taking his tires, so it looks like he's playing a little bit of strategy. He did mention that the only way he's going to beat Cody Kelly is with strategy. So we're going to see if this will work out for him. I'm not really seeing anybody else coming down to take tires, so that is a very interesting strategy for him. So let's go ahead and get a word with somebody else. I know we can. Who else is in here that we can get a word with? We can bring Casey Pierce up here. He's having a solid run and just made the great save there. Casey, you're in the booth for the first time in the season, man. First off, talk about your save right there. What in the world happened, and how are you able to corral that thing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little tight, slower than probably what I should be, but I've been trying to do some stuff to burn the right front off, honestly, because we're hurting the right rear here. And the 63 just drove through me. I mean, I'm sure he didn't mean to do it, but he just he just ran me over. So,
I mean, everyone looked like they were just kind of chilling right there. And then, as you mentioned, Drew, it looked like from what I was seeing from you guys battle, he was kind of throwing it into the corners a little bit harder than everybody else was. And I don't know, I guess that's the line he's running. But just kind of fill us in on how the conditions are out there. So you mentioned the rears are starting to slide up. We noticed that happening with everybody else. So what's been your strategy to keep these tires on? When are you thinking about, taking your tires, or as we saw Landon just took his tires? Are you thinking about that,
Yeah.
or are you going to hold on to these as long as you can?
well, I'm going to hold on to mine. I won't track position. I've got a little bit of left front damage now. I think it knocked the toe out or something. I don't think it's 100%, but yeah, I mean, I'm just going to save the tires as long as I can and try to stay out of trouble in the back.
Yeah,
I thought it's a big tires right now.
Yeah, the car doesn't look bad. I mean, the left front is a little bit crinkled in, but it's not. It does look debilitating. A little damage on the left rear, but I guess they hit you in the perfect spot. There, you see it on your screen right there. But I don't know, man. You think got something for these guys up front? You've been as quick as all these guys, if not quicker.
I feel like Cody's he's in another league. That's pretty much picking up where he left off. So, but we'll see. Strategy's going to make a difference here. That's why these races are hard to win. It's almost harder than a big race. So, we'll see what happens.
Definitely, man. Well, you're one of the best out here. Go get him. Keep that car as clean as you can, and we'll hopefully get to talk to you later on in Victory Lane.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Always a good interview, Casey Pierce. So very optimistic. He's got a little bit of damage, but we'll see what he can do for the remainder of this thing. So again, coming to the restart on lap number 62, Cody Kelly is on it. He's going to get clear, but a good restart for Andy Trupiano. He might be challenging Grayson Ward for second, but Grayson's going to get cleared. It's going to be between Trupiano and Dickinson, but looks like Trupiano gets clear as they're clear until about the, gotta say, about the 77 and the 51 of Oliver Cordell.
Yeah, Andy Trupiano slowly picking his way through the field. Started 6th, up to 3rd. Once again, just super consistent, knowing that this is a long race. And so far, he's kept it clean, and he's kept it up front. The one thing that he likes to be is very conservative early on, and it typically works out for him. Looking right now for second, underneath Grayson Ward and the number 9 machine. Going to be side by side as they exit turn 4. Trupiano gets a little bit loose. Behind them, going to be 3 wide. We might have an incident. Nothing yet. Davey Davis is in there. He just took 4 new tires, so he's looking to cut his way through the field. Derek Nickel is in that pack. Jacob Hayes, Ricky Harden, and Landon Huffman also on new tires as well.
Good call by Rich to focus on this battle. I saw the 3 wide going on, and I immediately went back here. So everybody from pretty much I'm looking at is Josh Caudle back here, Davey Davis. You got the 51 of Matt Kingsbury, Matt Light, and the 23 just ahead of these guys. And this looks like it's about from 10th on back as we see everyone just going to turn 3. They're going to be 3 wide. Look at Davey Davis on the bottom, and the bottom split machine looking to make up some space.
Yeah, Davey Davis, one of the few recipients that took tires here, one of 2 sets in the pits. And right now, he is making use of them. I believe he started outside the top 20, up to 13th. Got a giant gaggle in front of him, just being patient as Matt Light gets into the back of Dominic Corelli. That was Cameron Bolin in that 67 machine. Right now in a huge gaggle. This is from 10th on back. And Davey looking low, going to get chopped off a little bit by Corelli. He's going to have to be patient here, and he's going to have to use these tires wisely.
Excellent patience being shown by these guys so far, but Davey got forced 3 wide. There he goes. He takes it right underneath the 67. What a move by Davey Davis. I'm telling you, man, when he's on it, Davey is one of the more underrated guys. If you watch him on Twitch, twitch.tv/DaviesDoobies, you've seen him on dirt, and he's showing his dirt skills saving that car, but definitely putting those tires to use, as Kevin said, as he's now looking under the 23 of Matt Light, and Davey is just outside the top 10, and we have another caution.
Caution out for, I believe that's the 7th.
Lee Norton
is flipping. Lee Norton upside down in the Hot Wheels number 29 machine goes to the pits. That was a massive accident. He was just sitting there. He actually got flipped twice. Got loose. We'll wait for the replay. This is a wild one.
It looks like he gets loose off of turn number 2 by himself right here, and he hits the inside wall, and then he gets hit by the 20.
Oh, man.
That's the 20 of Joe Penley, and then he gets hit again by the 31. The 31.
Anthony Woody again. That's his 4th incident tonight.
Oh, man, but that is a violent crash by Lee Norton, getting hit by the wall, and then 2 other cars, and that might effectively end his night. 2 heavy impacts, so not how the 29 wanted to start his season, but man, they might have to look into the 31. That's, as you said, 4 incidents he's been involved in.
Yeah, Anthony Woody. I kind of talked about this with Landon and the boys, maybe having a secondary penalty for people who plow an incident, because that was two huge plows that definitely could have avoided the contact there with Lee Norton. They should, in my opinion, be penalized. But we do have some arrivals on the pits. Got a bunch of guys coming in. I believe Andy Chupiano was the first in the number 7 machine. Casey Pierce is in. Grayson Ward is in. Callum Pelfrey, number 17 of Oliver Cordell, Drew Cox. And one thing this is going to set up, this is going to create a lot of good track position for the guys who just pitted. People like Davey Davis and Landon Huffman. I believe the only one they're going to have to really worry about in front of them are going to be Cody Kelly and Spencer Dickinson. Looking at tires here. Andy Chupiano, evidence shows, as Casey mentioned to us before, Sean, the right rear tire really wearing out. He has 90% on the right front, 87% on the right rear, and it doesn't look like he was really slinging it out there. So they're definitely wearing out that right rear.
Well, it's going to happen. So we're going to go ahead. I think we got a little bit of time to kill here before we go back racing. So it's time, I think. We got to bring him in. Davey.
Yo.
You are in 3rd, man. So
yeah,
you have been
rolling there.
You've been cutting through these guys. You started 23rd, you're up to 3rd, man. How the hell have you done it?
Just putting my skills to work here.
See that, man. You're just cutting through these cats, forcing it 3 wide. You're making all the right moves, man. You think you got anything for these guys in that 305 bottle split machine?
I don't know if I got anything for the guys in the front, but them fresh tires were helping there.
Come on, man. See, you got to.
We'll see.
You're gonna do it, man. You got to have the confidence. You got the conglomerates watching you. You're gonna do just fine. So just don't wreck the guys. That's all we ask.
Hey, man, I've been good.
I know, man. You got this. Kevin, you got anything you want to say to Davey?
Listen, man, you got much newer tires than these guys in front of you. They got nothing for you there, bud.
Nothing for them.
Yeah, maybe I can lead a lap or 2 here.
There you go.
You better.
You're gonna lead more than 1 lap. You're gonna be in the lead by the end of this restart. I'm calling it right now.
You're doing a great job, guys.
Thank you, man. You're doing an even better job. So go get them. We'll be talking to you later on for sure. But go get these cats. Show them what you're made of, all right?
All right, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Davies Doobies. Twitch.tv/DaviesDoobies.
New look top 5 here. Cody Kelly, Spencer Dickinson, that really hasn't changed. Davey Davis, 3rd. Ricky Harden in 4th. Landon Huffman all the way back up to 5th. 6th is Kevin Light. 7th is going to be the number 12 machine, Chris Davis. Dexter Knipe in 8th. And wow, this is a crazy top 10. Garrett Gowan up to 10th now, or up to 9th, and Darryl McKee up to 10th as we go green.
Garrett Gowan started 40th, and he's being shown in 10th. So that is a trek through the field if I've seen it after getting into a crash. Bad start by Davey. He's going to fall a bit further back, but those fresh tires are going to give him the grip he needs to get around Ricky Harden for 3rd. Ricky's going to hold strong on the top as they're crashing again.
Big wreck in the back.
Andy Trupiano took some damage. I'm seeing a little bit further back here. And it's at the 555 of Dexter Knipe is around on the back. So another caution. Let's see what happens here.
Did it just get loose?
I don't know. I'm showing when we see the replay here. It looks like, oh no. I'm getting flashbacks of Talladega. Kevin Light in the 25. It kind of cuts across.
Andy was involved. Andy got a lot of contact. Drew Cox had a lot of damage.
Andy was off the ground.
That is really unfortunate. That's kind of what happens when you get a little bit off sequence with the penalties. And they're going to give this wreck to Dexter Knipe Jr. Wow.
That's interesting.
I don't know about that one, but we show him on the screen right now, Season 1 and Season 2 champion of Andy Trupiano. A lot of damage on that number 7 machine.
So this is about as bad of a start to the season we've seen for Andy Trupiano. He's usually very consistent, as we said in the pre-race festivities. Didn't win a single race last season and won the championship. So if anyone can win based off consistency, it definitely is Andy. But he's got a long road ahead of him now if he wants to get a consistent, good finish out of this race. So got a lucky dog coming high. I believe that is the 54 of Lance Ripka going to get his lap back. So on the track right now, as they stand, you see on the left-hand side of your screen, Cody Kelly has not given up the lead at all in this race. He's led all 77 completed laps. Spencer Dickinson is currently being shown in second. Davey Davis, great run for him in third. Ricky Hart, another good run in fourth. How about a call to our hard chargers right now? There's a bunch of them that have made their way up to the front. As we mentioned, Davey started 21st. He's up to third. Ricky Harden started 22nd up to 4th, and Chris Davis, Davey's brother Chris Davis, started 29th up to 6th, and right behind him, Kevin Light started 27th up to 7th so far.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can maintain this track position. The one thing that they have right now is that coveted track position. Casey talked about that right before he pitted. You want to have that, especially as we start to get in the second half of this race. And right now, these guys, especially if the cautions keep rolling like they have the advantage right now. If they decide to pit maybe with 30 or 40 to go and the guys behind them decide to do the same thing, wait a little bit, hope for a green flag run, and they pit after them, these guys who are a little bit early on the sequence are going to have the advantage.
Definitely. So I mean, we've seen guys benefit with this, the guys with tires. I'm going to look through my ATVO here and I'm going to see, so guys that have not pit at the front, there's only 3 cars, I should say, on the track that have not made a single pit stop towards the front. And that's, of course, the 5 of Cody Kelly, the 6 of Spencer Dickinson, and the 15 of Ricky Harden. So Ricky has driven from 22nd to 4th. So great call by Ricky. And he's going to have tires. So we could see Ricky very well staying towards the front at the end of this thing. And if you want to follow Ricky, he's probably live. Let me double check. He might be. He is. So twitch.tv/Harden the Wall. That's HARDIN the Wall. So if you want to see Ricky's point of view, he's streaming this as well. So go ahead and pay him a visit. Tell him we said hello. And we're about to go back to green here, Kevin. Pace truck is off. We're getting ready to go back going.
Another good restart for Cody Kelly. And someone asked in the chat, is the 17 Oliver Cordell? It is Oliver Cordell in the number 17 machine. He's in the top 10. Back up at the front, Spencer Dickinson and Ricky Harden, the last 2 cars on those old tires. And it's not going to work out for Ricky as he's stuck on that inside line. Here comes Landon Huffman, Davey Davis, Chris Davis, all on those new tires. And they're going to eat these guys up really quickly here.
So Ricky is going to fall back a little bit. So again, side by side with the 305 of Davey Davis. So this is going to be for 4th. But Landon Huffman, again, he is on new tires as well. As one of the first cars to pit. So he finds his way back into the top 3. And it's probably going to be a matter of time before he finds his way around Spencer Dickinson. Here he comes off of turn number 4. And probably by the backstretch you'll have him. But Cody Kelly has opened it up to about a second over these guys as they come through 1 and 2.
Despite having about 55 lap older tires, obviously Landon's navigating traffic, but Cody Kelly had about a 10th lap. 1/10 of a second. Oh no, is that Garrett Gowan? It is in the number 99 machine. It was. That is a tough break for him. Another incident for the number 99 right in front of our leaders. And RJ was commanding him to get off the track as quickly as possible, and he did not do it in time. So that will bring out yet another caution, and that's going to bring it out again. Let's take a look and see what happened to Garrett. Just got really high, and it's really loose up there. It's in the marbles. Loses it right onto the pit wall there, and he just leaves it stuck doesn't return to pit, doesn't return to tow his truck or tow his car, and he almost gets hit by Cody Kelly. That would have been a really tough break for him.
Yeah, don't want to take the leaders out in your very first windshield deep race. So, but good job by Garrett keeping it out of the racing line and letting the leaders go by. So, where can you get another caution? You've been keeping count of the cautions so far, Kevin?
I believe we're at 8 or 9. I believe it's somewhere. Is it somewhere on ATVO?
I don't see it. So I was hoping you were kind of keeping track.
I think
of
we're
it.
at 8. I don't know. Maybe someone in the chat has been keeping it up. At this point, it's kind of starting to blend in. We've had so many, but tough break for Garrett. He has been officially disqualified. First guy in Windshield Deep Season 3 in the Cup Clash League to be disqualified for causing 2 incidents. Big F's in the chat for GMAT. We're seeing that right now in the racing chat. But we're starting to get into the twilight of this, into the sunset of this race, of this event. 65 laps to go, and one thing that has not happened is Cody Kelly is still not pitted.
I don't think he has to really right now. He's been just consistently up front. The cautions are coming out pretty much at every 5 laps or so. So I mean, I don't see if he did this in the Richmond race. I mean, everyone was counting him out towards the front because he had much older tires and guys, behind him. Guys like Ray Alfalo were behind him on much newer tires, and he was able to keep, himself out in front of those guys. So Cody definitely knows how to save his tires, and if anyone can keep those tires on it while keeping the speed and the distance behind in front of the fresh tires, he knows how to do it. But we've seen just how aggressive the guys in this league, and there are a bunch of new faces trying to make a name for themselves in this league. Davey Davis being one of them, as well as Chris Davis just behind him. So we're going to see just how aggressive these new tires are going to be. And Kevin, I got to ask the question: if you're this late in the race, if these cautions keep coming out, do you ever pit if you're at the front of this like Cody Kelly is?
Well, I think if we get a 15 to 20 lap run, I think we're gonna see those tires really become a disadvantage. 60 lap tires is still 60 lap older tires for Cody. So no matter what you do, he's definitely. I would arguably say he's the best driver on track right now. Even then, if you put someone on 60 lap newer tires, they're gonna beat you one way or another. So if we get a long green flag run here, even if it's 10 to 15 laps, I think he's got no choice but to pit. And I think at that point, if that happens, these guys who have already taken tires may have to do it again.
So we'll go down a brief rundown of the top 10 as they run. Again, Cody Kelly is your leader. Landon Huffman being shown in second. Spencer Dickinson, Davey Davis, Ricky Harden, the top 5. Chris Davis, Oliver Cordell, Daryl McKee, Dylan Wilson, and Kevin Light will round out the top 10. Pace truck is off, and another good restart by Cody Kelly. He is going to get clear of everybody. A good restart by Dickinson, but he's not going to be able to look underneath Huffman for second. So Davey Davis takes a very wide angle off the corner, but look at the run he gets. He clears Ricky Harden, and Ricky's going to be under fire from Oliver Cordell, and here comes Chris Davis in the 12.
Yeah, these new tires trying to take over for Ricky Harden. Ricky Harden still on those very old tires, got about 50 lap green flag laps on there. Doing right now so really well in 5th, and then if you go back up front, we're going to have to keep an eye on these top 2. It's going to be heads up racing for the lead eventually as Landon Huffman on those 60 lap older tires going to be catching Cody Kelly behind them. Ricky Harden once again under fire. Here comes Oliver Cordell. That's going to be for 5th, and that number 17 machine going to get it done.
So I'm looking around on ATVO. I'm trying to find who has the newest tires, and it is Oliver Cordell and Dylan Wilson on 21 and 20 lap old tires respectively. So watch out for those two guys. Here's Dylan just off your screen right there across the line in that 77. Right there he goes into turn number 1 right underneath Ricky Harden. So these two guys right here, the 51 I should say of Cordell and the 77 of Dylan Wilson, have the freshest tires in the field. But man, there's just a snarling pack behind them as Davey Davis and Grayson Ward. And we have another caution. I think it's on the back straightaway. And it
Anthony Woody again.
Anthony Woody again. That's like the 5th incident he's been involved in. Kevin, for my estimation, I think that's got to be a DQ at this point.
I think it's about time to call it for Anthony. Let's take a look. We'll wait for Rich to pull it up on the replay here. But there was something that was going on in front of him. Joe Penley was very off pace. He was about 20 miles an hour off pace.
Wow,
and just absolutely ran him over. Nowhere for him to go. But you got to be aware of your surroundings there, bud. Anthony Woody just absolutely destroying the number 20 machine of Joe Penley. And you got to think at this point, he's been in 5 accidents, at least on my on my tally sheet, that's his 5th incident that he's been involved in, and I believe that's going to be at least the 2nd or 3rd he's caused. He's going to have to be disqualified after that one.
I mean, they weren't very slow to disqualify the number 99, as just as we were talking about it, Kevin, the 5 of Cody Kelly is on pit road to take his tires. So that's going to bring him all the way back to, I'm showing, the 20th position. So that's going to hand lead over to Landon Huffman, the first lead change of this race. And with just over 50 laps to go and all the carnage happening right around where Kelly's going to be restarting, you think that's a good call, or you think he's just asking to be involved in a wreck?
Well, it looks like he's going to be in 20th, and he's going to have about 20 laps on some of these guys. The one thing that has not really bode well for him is that a lot of these laps that have been on these tires for these guys ahead of him have been under caution. You got, the best tires ahead of him are probably going to be Jacob Hayes. He's already taken his 2nd set. He's got 10 laps on his. But then you go up front, Grayson Ward's only got 24 laps on his. Dylan Wilson's got 24 laps on his. Oliver Cordell's got 25 laps on his. And a lot of these have been under caution. So he's probably got about maybe a 10 to 15 lap advantage. And the way track position is here, he's got a long way to go. We're going to be going to probably 53, 52 laps to go once we go back green. It's going to be a tough sailing for him.
So we were just talking about it. Landon Huffman in the race chat says 6 incidents for car 31, and they're saying, hey, enough is enough with this. He needs to be gone. But are the officials holding strong? They have not disciplined the 31 yet. So that's interesting. I mean, the 99, what he spun twice, and he was DQ'd after the 2nd time, and the 31's been involved in 6 accidents according to Landon and plowed through 2 of them, and looks like it just almost intentionally wrecked someone in the last one. So I don't like to question RJ's officiating, but that's a little bit of a head scratcher if I say so myself.
Well, the one thing that they've been by the book with is you have to be the cause of 2 incidents. He's definitely been either, the victim or a secondary of it, but this was the first incident he was the legitimate cause of it. So I can understand the logic, but I do agree. I think it's time for Anthony Woody to get going for the rest of the night. But
accent on that.
Pace truck is off for Landon Huffman. Davey Davis in 2nd.
Davey.
Cordell in 3rd. Wilson 4th. And top 5 is going to be Ricky Harden. Still on old tires for Ricky. He's holding strong in 5th, but Green going to be out. Landon Huffman going to get an early advantage. And Cordell on those slightly newer tires than Davey Davis going to get 2nd. He's going to have his sights set on the number 75 machine as they go into 3.
So Oliver's got about 12 lap fresher tires than Landon does. So I'm showing Landon's tires are about 40 laps old, 28 laps old for Cordell. So it might be a matter of time before the 51 gets the lead, but Davey is going to fall into 3rd. Dylan Wilson's on newer tires as well. He's found his way up to 4th. And Ricky Harden is still fighting for his life up here in the 15, still on those older tires. He's the only one that's in the top 10 and pretty much on the track, rather, that has not taken their tires. And, man, I really think he should have taken him on that pit stop. He is paying for it as he's about to lose the position to Drew Cox, it looks like, now in the 63.
Ricky Harden falling outside the top 5, going to be relegated back to 7th. He's got a lot of new tires behind him. Currently has 100 total laps on those tires as we hit the 100 lap mark. Davey Davis goes a little bit high. He's going to maintain that position, still in the top 5, going to be in 5th. Looking to lose that, though. Here comes Drew Cox underneath him. So we're having a lot of different strategies here. Oh, Matt Light got really loose. I'm sorry, that was Kevin Light right in front of Casey Pierce. That was the number 25 machine.
Up front,
they go into 3, and things are settling out a little bit. One thing I want to keep an eye on as this kind of starts to single file out is Cody Kelly is right in the thick of this, and right now he is in 14th position and already made up 6 spots.
So he restarted 20th as the 51 of Matt Kingsbury gets loose. He saves it. But Cody Kelly oh, and there's a crash. Andy Trupiano is around.
That's number 7.
That's going to get the 6 of Spencer Dickinson up and over. So a big wreck in turns 3 and 4. It takes a couple of contenders out. And that's another one. Oh, man, we got to see a replay of this. So it looks like Trupiano just gets turned.
Just got pushed out.
He's got the one of Jacob Hayes right behind him. Looks like a little bit of net code happens there. And then,
Spencer just has nowhere to go. But wait, there's more, and he gets flipped.
The 54 of Lance Ripka just came in and just finished off Spencer Dickinson.
This tire model, man.
Oh, man, I'm not sure why that happened. That's the same spot we saw the car earlier, the 2 car of
popcorned off the track.
Jack Bailey just jumped and act like a lowrider off of turn number 4 and flipped. So that's another bizarre incident. But again, if you're new to Windshield Deep, this league is not unfamiliar with bizarre incidents. And we are yet again under caution again here at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. So we'll go ahead. We've been going for a while, so we'll go ahead and take another quick commercial break here. We need some time to recollect our thoughts for this. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back in just a few seconds to get a potential pit stops and the restart. But don't go away. We'll be right back to Nashville. And welcome back to the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Very quick commercial break there. Didn't miss anything. Still under caution, of course, as per Windshield Deep standards. But hopefully we get some green flag runs in here. So we'll go ahead and do a brief update on the running order. As you see, Landon Huffman is your leader. Oliver Cordell in the 17, but he's shown as the 51 on his car. I'm going to have to fix that. But he's in second. Dylan Wilson, a good run in third. Then we got Grayson Ward in the 9, is in fourth. Drew Cox fifth. Davey Davis restarted his last restart in second. He's kind of slid back to sixth, but he's still hanging strong. And Ricky Harden is still not taking his tires. His tires have to be falling off of that car right now. He's on 106 lap old tires is Ricky Harden, but he is still out there. I think he must think there's only one set of tires because Ricky is a Windshield Deep Racing League veteran, and he's familiar with the days where we just had one set of tires to last a race, but he is hanging in there in seventh. And behind him, Chris Davis having a good run in his Windshield Deep debut in the top 10. He sits in eighth. Dominic Corelli is in ninth, and Kevin Light is in the top 10. But Kevin, look who's just outside the top 10, waiting to get back up to the front.
Yeah, making his way through the field is Cody Kelly in 11th. Josh Cottle started 11th, back in 12th. Cameron Bolin 13th. Matt Kingsbury 14th. Tellin Pelfrey having a clean night in 15th. Matt Light in 16th. Lance Ripka 17th. Casey Pierce having a little bit of a tough night after that initial contact. A little bit mired in traffic. In 18th, Brett Pancari 19th. And Daryl McKee will round out your top 20, finaling out the rest of the lead lap cars. Andy Chupiano in that last incident is going to be in 21st. Derek Nickel 22nd. And Jacob Hayes is going to be end the longest line in 23rd, and a little bit of a reshuffling here. Looks like Brett Pancari also end the longest line. He's going to be 23rd as we're going to get back to green. And someone mentioned in the chat, we got a Nashville homeboy in second in the number 17. He has come up 31 spots to be up here, Sean.
Started 33rd up to second for Oliver Cordell. We'll see if he can get the job done. Green flag is out, and he is immediately under pressure from the 77 to Dylan Wilson, side by side into turn number 1. Battle for second is on. Wilson slides up a little bit, and Cordell's going to get the run off the corner, so slide him back into second. First side-by-side battle. Got to go back to the 61 of Dominic Corelli and the 305 at Davey Davis. They're currently battling for seventh off of turn 4, but look at this. Cody Kelly is like a hot knife through butter, just making his way through the field right underneath Davey Davis. Got the freshest tires up front. A little bit of a bottleneck off the corner there. They keep it going. But Cody Kelly is picking them up and putting them down as he makes his way into the top 10.
New tires.
Oh, we got a wreck off the floor. Big wreck.
Alan Pelfrey is around. Kevin Light is around. Oh, another incident. Max Price gets sent into the incident. Things kind of settle out a little bit after that, but a 3-car spin. Not a lot of contact there, but that's going to bring out yet another caution. I've lost count at this point. I don't know if we're over, under, or what. But that's going to bring out yet another caution. Josh Cottle was involved in there, but he keeps it going. Going to look at him and kind of just ping-pongs his way through there, pinballs his way through there, and he continues on. But Talon Pelfrey and Kevin Light take the brunt of the hit on those two.
So I'm looking through the replay here, and it looks like the 13 of Josh Cottle is going to be the cause of this, as he saw the 25 of Kevin Light just slide up a little bit. Looked like there's been a net code between he and the 67 of Cameron Bolin, but there was just a little bit of a hole there, and Cottle tried to get through it and just inadvertently took out Light, and the rest of the field followed. So working yet another caution period here as we start to wind down in the season opener for Season 3 of the Windshield Deep Racing League here on every Windshield Deep social media, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. We appreciate all of you guys hanging out and joining us for the season debut. Be sure to come back every Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, same time, same places. We'll have a bunch of different short tracks here. Got a good variety of circuits this league runs. And if you're new to this league and you like carnage, well, you're in the right spot. So appreciate everyone coming out as we see the lap card getting the wave by, I should say. That's Eric Wilson in the 4. I haven't talked much about him. He finally gets back on the lead lap. So I'm trying, Kevin, if you could afford me a second, to manually go through and look through how many cautions we've had, and it's been a good bunch, if I do say so myself.
We had a baker's dozen yet, or we had just a dozen? I think it's between 12 or 13. It's been an eventful night, and if these cautions keep happening, I feel like we're going to go back to the old legacy style of windshield deep, if there ever was one, with the one set. I don't think these guys can really afford it. There's not enough time to take that second set, especially with these cautions coming out. Going to be probably around 33, 34 laps to go. But I believe we're at 12 or 13, so I'll let you do the math there. Landon Huffman, your leader. Oliver Cordell, second. Looking to maintain that second position, was having a lot of pressure behind him from Dylan Wilson, who has newer tires. Grayson Ward also on a little bit newer tires in fourth. Drew Cox, he's been involved in a little bit of action, a little bit of incidents, got involved with Casey Pierce in fifth. Ricky Harden has not taken his set of tires yet. Either two. He has not taken a single set of tires, and he's in sixth. So give credit to him where credit is due. Dominic Corelli is in seventh. Cody Kelly on that outside line now in eighth on the newest set of tires. Davey Davis and Chris Davis will round out your top 10.
Let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That can't be right.
It might be. It's been an eventful night for sure. And next week will not be any different. We are going to probably the most exciting bull ring in the United States. We're going to Bristol for 100 laps. And we've seen 150 laps there, how quick things can get crazy. 100 laps there is going to be even worse. But Pace Truck is off here for Landon Huffman, looking to command this field and control it. Landon Huffman going to get a great restart over Oliver. Dylan Wilson right behind him probably has the same radio as that number 75. Looks to get a restart, but doesn't do so. First battle is going to be for third.
Down off of turn number 2, Grayson Ward is going to get the run off of turn 2 to pass Dylan Wilson. So they're going to be single file up until you got to go back to Dominic Corelli in the 61. Looking underneath, Ricky Harden still on his original tires. I don't know how he's done it. But right behind them, guys, Cody Kelly, the man who's dominated this race, took his tires, and now he's looking to get back up to the front. He restarted 20th after he pitted.
Oh, he just ran the Dominic! Oh, no!
Oh, but what a
and
save.
No caution. Are you serious?
Dominic turns it around and keeps it going. No one else wrecked, and Dominic was able to keep it going. But,
okay,
man, what a save by Corelli, and we stay green here at Nashville. What a job by Dominic Corelli, but Cody had to feel bad about that when he stopped and made sure Corelli was able to keep it going and didn't pass him. But, man, what a save by Dominic Corelli to do a full 360 and keep that thing going, and we stay green. And back up front here, guys, Landon Huffman has a mirror full of Oliver Cordell off of 2.
Yeah, Oliver Cordell, a little bit different scheme that I'm seeing. He's the 51 in-game for the broadcast, but he is the number 17. The number 17 machine has made his way through the field and pretty cleanly. Doesn't have a lot of damage on the front, a little bit of damage on the rear, but he is all over the back of that Landon Huffman machine. Going to be 30 laps to go this time by. If this thing goes green, it's going to be really interesting to see if those 12 to 13 lap newer tires for Cordell really pay off, because he is all over the back of Landon.
Off of turn number 4, looks to the inside of Landon, doesn't quite get it done. Landon got a little bit loose off of turn 4, so it looks like Oliver's tires holding up a lot better as we have another caution, and this one's in turn 4, and the 54 is lodged in the wall. That's Lance Ripka.
And a lot of audio on the radio chat as Oliver and Landon both dejected as Max Price got absolutely sent into the wall. We'll get a replay of that. But that's a really tough break. There's Lance Ripka, and Max just kind of dives it in there, and maybe a little bit of karma on the correction of the car. Lance Ripka sends Max Price hard into the outside wall, and that might end Max Price's night, as I believe he's in the pits. But That is unofficially our 14th caution of the event. I'm not 100% sure if there's anyone at home keeping track. I've definitely lost track here, Sean. I don't know about you, but that is going to bring it out once again, and we're going to be under 25 laps to go. And I think what you got is what you got. And poor Cody Kelly, obviously he was going to be the cause of the incident if they brought out a caution for the who was it that he hit? Dominic Corelli. So does he take tires here? You know, he's already in the back. He might as well, you know, get your final set. But it looks like he's out there still.
I think it's too late because you can't really, like guys like Ricky Harden, you can't. I don't think you can take your tires now. You wouldn't have enough time to get back up through the field. So I don't know. That's a call for them to make. But in my estimation, if you take your tires more than I'd say a quarter through the race, you're setting yourself up for trouble to get involved in wrecks. And I'm thinking Cody Kelly might have played the strategy right because he is in a perfect spot to take this thing. He is currently sitting up there with plenty of time to get up there. He is currently sitting.
He's all the way back in 16th now. That's what I was saying. Like
I should say back in 16th. So I mean, he might have enough time to get through there. We saw just how quick he was able to get through. But I don't know. It's going to be very tough to see him get through the field. We saw him do it before. He got up there pretty quick. We'll see if he can do it again, as I'm still trying to figure out the official caution number as everything just keeps updating on me, and it's very aggravating. So we'll get the official number in a second, but right now working with unofficially caution number 14.
Test dummy for this strategy that Cody Kelly very well could have done, since he was already mired back in traffic after that incident with Dominic Corelli. Davey Davis just took his second set with 25 laps to go, and he's going to roll off 18th right behind Cody. So obviously Cody's got the best car, and he's going to need a lot of green flag laps, and he might need a couple cautions that come out at the most opportune time to bunch everything back up. But Davey was falling back there. He was falling back just outside the top 10 before this caution came out. His brother Chris Davis is still in the top 10, but Davey used his stuff up. We'll see if Davey can get back through. But as of right now, you've got Landon Huffman in the lead with 69 laps on his tires. Oliver Cordell has 57, 56, and 56 for Dylan Wilson and Grayson Ward. So a little bit better tires for them and Drew Cox. So Landon Huffman, I think, is going to have to play defense the rest of the race. He has probably used the newness of those tires as we go through 3 and 4. Pace track going to be sliding off here for hopefully our final restart, but I doubt it here, Sean.
So I was up to 8 cautions before we got through. So we're definitely at the over. So that's a foregone conclusion. But these guys, not a very good start for the inside line and Grayson Ward. So he's going to check up. That's going to let Dylan Wilson get around to third. And he's got a mirror full of Drew Cox down the back. Here comes Ricky Harden, somehow still up here on those tires. He said, "Oh, we got True."
Oh, he's gone. Oh, he's back. Daryl McKee got sent. I don't know from
Corelli, I
who.
think. Oh, wasn't Daryl McKee? It was Daryl McKee. So
yeah, it looks like a possible net code incident. We've never heard that before on iRacing.
Yeah, never.
Net code possibly being the culprit of an incident. Talon Pelfrey screaming that he never even saw him on track. And it looks like, we'll have to get a replay. It looks like a pretty clean hit, but it really is hard to say until we get a little bit more of an in-depth replay. We'll let Rich get to his point of the action so we can see that it was almost 3 wide from my trajectory between Tripiano, Pelfrey, and McKee. And it looks like, it's tough.
I can't really put that on anybody, really. I mean, it's a racing deal to me, but I don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely net code. I mean, it was really close. I don't know if I could put that one on Talon. He definitely could have been a little bit lower, but not much you can do when net code is about a foot of car. There's not much you can do with that one.
So got a couple takers on pit road. Really one that I'm seeing that was towards the front. Chris Davis in the 12 has come in from the 10th position to take another set of tires. So he's going to fall considerably further back. So we'll go ahead and do a quick update on the running order as they stand right now. So Landon Huffman is still your leader. Oliver Cordell is running second. Dylan Wilson is being shown in third, Grayson Ward fourth, Drew Cox fifth, Casey Pierce sixth, Ricky Harden seventh, Matt Kingsbury being shown in eighth, Cameron Bolin ninth, and Andy Trupiano will round out the top 10 as we continue on down. Talon Pelfrey, for now, being shown 11th. Not sure if he's going to get an EOL penalty or not for that wreck. I don't think he will, but he's being shown in 11th. Cody Kelly is up to 12th. Jacob Hayes is in 13th. Davey Davis is in 14th. Matt Light, 15th. Josh Caudle, 16th. Derek Nichols, 17th. Kevin Light, 18th. Dominic Corelli, 19th. And Daryl McKee will round out the top 20. So, Kevin, I'm thinking if I'm Landon, I'm in a good spot right here. I might not have the best tires, so if these guys keep wrecking, I'm just going to pace until this thing ends.
Yeah, the one thing that he has a huge advantage of is the restart zone is in the corner, and obviously, the bottom is going to be the shortest way around, so he's got a pretty big advantage once he gets into turn one. He gets about a 2 or 3 car length gap every single time, and Oliver wants to, let this go green, but the way this has played out, it has been caution after caution after caution. So the one thing that is definitely on Landon's side are these restarts and the continuous amount of restarts, because every single one he gets, the longer this goes on, the shorter the race is going to become for him to have to worry about defending. So we'll have to see. It's going to be 17 laps to go. If this thing goes green, I believe it's Oliver Cordell's race to lose. But right now, Landon Huffman's going to be in the lead.
Pace truck ducks off, and we are ready to go back to racing. Landon Huffman, Oliver Cordell coming down to complete lap 133. Green flag is out. A great start for Cordell. He might be able to hang on to the top side, but he's going to fall in behind Huffman for second, and they are still all over the place behind them as they got a big incident off of turn number 2. The 67 of Cameron Bolin gets loose and checks the field up, but they're going to keep it going as the battle right now is for third and fourth. Right now, Dylan Wilson has it going into turn number 1.
Flash bulbs are all over the place on the infield grandstands as there's a lot of action here in the top 5. Dylan Wilson has a huge pack behind him. Casey Pierce has made his way through the field. Grayson Ward looking to get on the outside of him. Drew Cox behind them. Number 67, a Bolin involved there. And then we have contact. Cody Kelly into the outside wall, trying to navigate this traffic in front of him, trying to get his way through the field. Not going to do it. Has gotten a little bit of incident. Kingsbury is loose off the corner, and Cody Kelly is all over the place still as he goes into turn 3. He's got a long way to go, and he has no time to do it. Caution may be out. Talon Pelfrey is around. They might not throw it because he's going to get back going. Anthony Woody hits him again. That's not surprising. And we might have to go back up front here, Sean. 75 and 17 getting a lot closer here as we're going to be hitting 10 to go in a few laps.
So that was interesting. No caution. We stay green here. And back up front, Landon Huffman again has a mirror full of Oliver Cordell as they head down the back straightaway. Yeah, that's something. I gotta see just what the cause of that caution was. That was very, very strange. But nonetheless, we stay green here as we work lap number 139, and the 2 leaders have checked out, but Casey Pierce, Dylan Wilson, and Grayson Ward are throwing haymakers behind them for third.
Oh, I think something happened with Davey Davis. Yep, sure enough, Cody Kelly is around. Daryl McKee is around. Something happened with the 305. He came over the chat. Let me take a look and see. There were 3 wide at the point of contact, and it looks like we'll have to wait for a replay, but it looks like it was just a matter of just not enough room on the exit of the corner as Davey gets sent into the outside wall. We'll have to keep an eye on this. We'll let Rich get to the replay. I'll wait for the analysis, but it looks like it was a 3-way incident between the 305, the 5, and the number 1 of Jacob Hayes, who has officially retired from the event. So is Cody Kelly. The only one that kind of got away from that relatively okay is the number 305.
Landon says trouble.
He needs it. This was great timing for him. So you can see Cody and the 1 of Jacob, and Jacob looks like he either got DQ'd or he just alt F4'd. And poor Davey had nowhere to go. He was making his way through the field. I believe he had gotten into the top 10 at that point. He was in 12th, so this was a battle for 12th. And poor Davey, he took those tires late, and he was back in traffic, and that's the consequences possibly if you get mired back there. So tough break for him, but it looks like he'll be okay. be able to get it going again. Still in 14th, and laps are ticking here, Sean. It looks like Landon is just that much closer to victory.
So 9 laps to go as they stand right now. It should be going green with about 7 to go here as we work down the final moments of what's definitely been a crazy, hectic, firework-filled Season 3 opener of the Windshield Deep Racing League. We hope you guys are enjoying every moment of this along with us. It's still up in the air. Any one of these guys can win, as we've seen before. It's not over until it's over. We've seen drivers get hit across the line to win races. We've seen guys get turned at the last second to win races, and this can go anywhere that you could possibly think of, and it is far from over. So a brief rundown of the running order: Landon Huffman being shown as your leader, Oliver Cordell in second, Casey Pierce, Dylan Wilson, a good run in fourth, Grayson Ward fifth, Andy Trupiano, nice recovery after being involved in a couple of incidents. He is being shown in sixth. Drew Cox in seventh, Cameron Bolin in eighth, Matthew Kingsbury ninth, and Ricky Harden still has not made a pit stop. He's being shown in 10th.
143 laps on those tires. I cannot believe they haven't blown yet. We've seen in these races, these 87 cars absolutely destroy tires. So give him props for not only keeping it in the top 10. I don't know if he's challenging himself to do this on one set, but so far he's done so in that 10th position. Josh Cottle in 11th, number 12th position going to be Dominic Corelli, Davey Davis 13th, Chris Davis in 14th, Daryl McKee 15th, Derek Nickel 16th, Matt Light 17th, Eric Wilson. I believe he's got 10 pit stops today, so he has fixed that car to the best of his ability in 18th, 19th. Kevin Light and Tellum Pelfrey will round out our top 20 as we get ready for yet another restart here, Sean.
So coming down to 6 laps to go here at the Nashville Fairground Speedway. iRacing Pace Truck peels off, and we are green once again. A great restart by Landon Huffman. Oliver Cordell doesn't really get the restart he wants. He's going to clear Casey Pierce. The battle is going to be for 4th, it looks like. Pierce gets clear. Dylan Wilson not quite clear of Grayson Ward. As they head down the backstretch, there's still cars hitting the wall everywhere as they head through 3 and 4.
A lot of action all over the place. One guy to look at is that number 18 machine. He only has 40 laps on those tires, about 40 laps better than Landon. So if he can get around this 17 and we get another restart, it's going to be really interesting. But right now, first battle for position is going to be between Andy Trupiano and Grayson Ward. Those guys have been used up. That's going to be a battle for 5th behind them. Battle for 7th. That's going to be between Drew Cox
Round, it looks
and
like
Cameron
Kevin
Bolin.
Light. Kevin
No
Light looks
caution.
like he went around in 3 and 4. No caution. We stay green. So we're going to keep on going here. So again, the battle is for, I believe that is the 5th position. Grayson Ward in the 9, Andy Trupiano in the 7. And right now, everyone behind could win this race, as we might have 3 wide on the front stretch. There you see Ricky Harden, Matt Kingsbury, and Josh Cottle as they head into 1.
A lot of contact in the back. Things are getting a little bit closer up front. Oliver Cordell has pulled it down to 2 car lengths. Gonna probably have to keep an eye on this. Oh, I believe someone contact in the back. Someone was sent around. Yes, it was, and that's gonna be... Oh! Who was that? Max Price was absolutely sent to the moon and disappeared. Oh my goodness. That was insane. The 11 of Derek Nickel just stuck in the middle of the track, and Max Price absolutely pirouetted and barrel rolled off of the number 11 machine. We'll have to get a replay. Looks like just a self-spin from the number 11 machine of Derek. We'll have to wait about probably 3 or 4 seconds. Nothing yet. Here he comes. And there he goes, the Max Price machine. Absolutely incredible. That's not the first time we've seen cars upside down tonight, but that's probably the most insane action I've seen so far.
So that camera was in a perfect spot. If that actually happened in a real race, we might be down a camera, but good thing this is just iRacing. But what a wild ride for Max Price. Derek Nickel, you hate to see that for him, as you saw the onboard there.
Might have had to file some workman's comp after that. That's
just maybe. Just maybe. So in typical Windshield Deep fashion, race number 1 is going to be settled by a green, white, checkered. Not all too common in the year 1987 in the real deal, but this is iRacing. This is how this league is set up. We'll get 2 attempts at a green, white, checkered here. If we take the green and come to the white, the race is official. But if they take the green and they wreck before they get back to the white, we will rack them up one more time and try it again. And if they wreck before they get to the white in the second time, the race is over. So going to be a typical hectic finish here, Kevin. And honestly, with this league and leaving it right back off where it left off, I wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah, and Landon kind of called it. He seems to be, you know, top 5 on speed, but he has excelled through the 2 seasons of Windshield Deep at nailing the strategy, and he has done just that. Positioned himself to be in the lead here for potentially 2 green-white checkers. I have a sneaking suspicion we'll get both of these green-white checkers in, and I believe if we get to that second green-white checker, this is completely speculation, but I believe it'll be at that point what's considered the point of no return. There's been a few other leagues that have utilized that. The Winstell League with Brendan McGee, Brandon Howe, Brandon Cruz, they used it for their I Got Balls 400. FTF Cup and FTF GNS use it. It's a situation where the green flag on the second green-white checkered is the last one that waves before the checkered. No matter what, there is not going to be another caution. We'll have to see how that plays out. But Landon Huffman, it's his race to lose at this moment. Right now, I'd say Oliver Cordell and Casey Pierce are faster, but the one thing that Landon has is that very advantageous restart exiting turn 4.
He can go whenever he wants. So, you know, the leader controls the restart. If you're new to iRacing, they don't have to go on the green. As long as they go in a designated restart zone that the race officials mark to everybody before the race starts, they can go as long as you're inside of that zone. So that is the huge advantage in this scenario for being the leader. And Landon Huffman has had that for about the last, 30 to 45 restarts so far as he's been leading. Complete exaggeration, by the way. But here we go. We're about to get ready for the first green-white checkered. It's going to be Huffman and Cordell leading them down. Attempt number 1. We are going green. Here goes Huffman off the corner. Gets a great start. And we're stacking up behind them. Casey Pierce, Dylan Wilson. Drew Cox slides into the corner. Spins Andy Trupiano. Multiple cars involved. And in not surprising, we're going to go to a second green-white checkered. But, man, they were just going for real estate that wasn't available at all.
Take a look at the replay. I believe this started with Grayson. Grayson did not get a good restart, and Drew Cox just nailed the back of him, and that created a huge accordion effect between the 67 and the 9. And unfortunately, for the second time, Andy Trupiano taken out. Doesn't look like he has a lot more damage, but he lost a ton of track position. And like you said, Sean, we're going to be going to that second green-white checkered, and we'll have to see how this plays out. Yeah, it looks like it says Grayson missed a shift, and at least according to Drew Cox, he's definitely trying to plead his case that was not his fault, but we'll have to see what the admin race controller, see what RJ has to say about it. But like I said, that's not a surprise to me, and I don't think it's a surprise to you. They're going to be using the second green-white checkered here.
Well, in Drew's defense, I mean, it did look like there was a huge checkup on the inside with Casey, and it looked like Casey missed a shift or something, and Grayson had to kind of avoid. Drew slowed down. He never made contact with the 9, but Ricky Harden, he couldn't see it. He was a couple cars back. He hits the back of the 63, and he sensed the 63 into the 9, and that just caused every incident from there. So I don't know. I would put that as a racing deal, but I can't really put that on any individual driver, to say the least. But that's a tough break for guys, especially Andy Trupiano. Was setting himself up. We were talking about the difficulties he was having earlier in the race. Was setting himself up to have a good, solid finish after all the trials and tribulations he went through, I should say, during this race. But now, after that incident, he's going to find himself still back in 8th, but definitely not where he wants to be on the outside, right in the middle of the Hornet's nest, coming to a second of 2 green-white checkered restarts.
Yeah, but give credit to Andy. He has definitely persevered and made the best of a bad situation up to 8th. Despite that, he's still going to be positioned in 8th. We'll see. I doubt he's going to be considered the cause. He was just an innocent bystander. But I'm really curious to see if Drew Cox or any of these guys that are still up front are going to be given the blame for this. I believe there was, I'd say, about 4 or 5 different culprits you can possibly put it on. Like you said, Casey didn't get a good restart. Grayson hit Casey. Grayson got hit by Drew, who also got hit by Ricky. As our good friend Travis said, there's a lot of layers to this, and we got to peel it like an onion.
Oh, come on.
And I don't think, when you finally analyze this wreck, I don't think you can put that on anybody. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I think they're just going to have to let that one go.
I think so too. So I mean, I'm not seeing officials putting that on anybody. So if I were them, I would deem it a racing deal, and I I think they're in the same mindset. So here we go. This is the race. The field has just gotten the 1 to go signal. And no matter what happens, if they make it back to the white flag, the race is over. The next flag will end the race. But if they wreck, that's it. So it's going to be Landon Huffman, the 75, black number 75 on the inside there. In the white and red car to his outside, that is Oliver Cordell. It seems like he's been trying to pass him for the last 100 laps or so. But here we are getting ready to settle this thing for round number 1 of season 3. Pace truck is off. Landon is down and away. And good restart by Cordell. He's going to get clear of Casey Pierce. They're side by side for 4th heading into 1. And it looks like Cordell's going to get the run down the back.
Cordell had the run, got loose out of turn 2, lost every bit of momentum. Going to be a 3-horse race here for the lead. Casey Pierce willing that thing in 3rd. But here comes Cordell all over the back of the number 75 machine. White flag is out. That's going to be official as they go through 1 and 2.
Oh, and they're almost 3 wide towards the back of the pack, but back up front, Landon Huffman with a mirror full of Oliver Cordell down the backstretch for the final time into turn number 3. Does anyone have anything for him? And Landon Huffman picks up right where he left off last year. He's going to win round 1 at Nashville Fairgrounds. And what a drive by Landon Huffman. Plays the strategy correctly. He called it earlier. Had to beat everyone off his strategy. And man, if he did that in this race and then some, as Landon takes home the win. Oliver Cordell 2nd, Casey Pierce 3rd, Drew Cox will finish 4th, and Dylan Wilson will round out the top 5. But what a drive by Landon Huffman to play the strategy perfect, and he's going to park it on the straight.
Real quick, look who finished 6th. I cannot believe that.
We're gonna. I gotta know how he did this. Ricky Harden somehow finishes 6th as Landon, just hip checking people doing his donuts. But we'll go ahead and bring Landon in, and we'll get a quick word with him. But Landon's celebrating his victory, and there goes the engine on a couple of cars. We'll see if we can get Landon up here. Landon, you got us, man?
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Can you hear us over the sound of the engine where you're doing the donuts? You turned it off yet?
No, I just got smoked by a Davis brother while I'm doing my damn donuts. What a race, fellas. What a race.
What a race, man. Tell us about it. So you called it earlier, man. You're looking at, you said you got to win this thing on strategy, and you played it perfect. The cautions fell to your advantage, and you're able to take this thing home. I'd say a nice little start to season 3 for you.
Hell of a lot better start than, oh my God. I'm doing my, wow. Okay, well, there's Davey. Great start for this season, especially compared to last season. But all in all, I think putting 40 cars on this racetrack, I mean, we obviously had our moments, but we did have a few good runs. And I felt like the race was a lot of fun, a lot of side-by-side racing. And Oliver was a little better than me there at the end. I think just restarts really helped play in my favor there towards the end of the race. I feel like if it would have went green, it would have been really hard for me to keep them behind me there.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. But as you said, the strategy definitely paid off. There's a bit of controversy happening right now, as we could hear on the race chat. But in the end, man, you're able to get it done. You had one of the better cars. You're able to hold off Oliver, who was one of the hard chargers of the race. But tell us what you think the key to your race was here. I mean, you had the speed, you had the strategy. All you had to do was execute. It looks like you did a great job of that down the stretch.
Yeah, the right rear tires started wearing on us. I think, I pitted early. Sometimes that's a gamble because you get back in the shit, and I felt like I did a good job managing that. And then kind of played Cody there when he pitted. I stayed out, and I really wasn't banking on trying to go all the way to the end, but that's just kind of how it played out. I felt like my best bet was to stay up front and stay out of the carnage, and it worked out. But I just can't thank all you guys that are watching on my Twitch channel, on the twitch.tv/Windshield Deep, over on Facebook, YouTube. We really appreciate you guys. We have a blast when we do this league, and it's a lot of fun to put these 87 cars on these racetracks and give you guys a show. So we do appreciate you guys watching. Shout out to ONEwraps for sponsoring the series, and Blondeez Restaurant over in Bethlehem, North Carolina, for sponsoring tonight's race.
Gonna set it better myself, man. There's Landon Huffman, your winner. Congratulations, man. Go celebrate. And I think Kevin is gonna catch up with our second place finisher, Oliver Cordell.
Oliver, this is Kevin in the booth. You got us, bud?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Oliver, you were definitely the hard charge of the race. Started 33rd, made your way to 2nd. Tell us about those last 80 laps or so. You definitely had something for Landon, but I'm sure those cautions were rather frustrating.
Yeah, for sure. I
took a set of tires a little later than Landon did, just hoping we would have a green flag run so I could at least catch him. But no, we had a few cautions. Definitely screwed me over, but good race to Landon. He was a class of the field tonight.
Definitely, Landon, definitely the king of strategy. So definitely give him good credit for the win. But good to see you here in top three. One of the first races, I believe, for you. Do you intend to run the rest of the season? Looking to get the championship here? Looking to take it away from Andy Trupiano? Or are you just doing a couple one-offs?
I'll definitely try to make the whole season. Not sure about taking Andy's throne, but we'll give it a shot.
Yeah, we'll see. He's been tough, but good run for you tonight, Oliver. We look forward to seeing you at Bristol. What do you expect from there? Only one set of tires next week, but what do you expect the racing to be there next week?
I'm expecting it to be a little bit more the same. Hopefully less cautions, but I guess we'll find out.
10-4 there, bud. Good run there, and we look forward to seeing you up here up front more often.
Thanks.
So Oliver Cordell finished in second, and we'll round off our podium here. I believe I'm going to go ahead and see if I could track down Casey Pierce. There he is. Casey, so you had an eventful race here, man. So you're able to bring that thing home in third. I mean, a lot of people had a roller coaster of a race, especially you. So go ahead and tell us how you're able to get that thing done tonight and how you're able to get on the podium tonight.
A lot of work, pretty worn out. But yeah, I got dumped there like towards the midpoint of the race, a little bit before that, and at that point I just kind of changed my strategy a little and pitted kind of weird. I had a weird strategy, and I took tires like 40 to go, and it paid off. I was able to come through the field. Nobody else really had fresher tires. Landon did pretty well. Landon and Oliver did a great job saving their tires because I felt like I was equal there at the end, and they had a lot older tires than I did. So it was just a lot of strategy, and Cody and Andy got wrecked. So that's going to be interesting for the points the rest of the season. It was a really wild race. This racetrack's so hard to predict, so hard to finish well at. It's such a tight quartered racetrack, and it's pretty loose all the time. So.
Yeah, especially you said with those tires that you took. We're kind of concerned because we saw you take them, and we were talking about when was the perfect time to take them. You mentioned you took them with 40 to go. How tough was it to get back up to the field and eventually finish in that third spot?
Well, it was mostly just trying to avoid the wrecks. I think Cody had a pretty big advantage. I feel like he was going to win the race, but he got involved in something. I don't really know what happened, but yeah, I mean, it was fairly easy to drive by everybody. It was just hard to not wreck somebody or get involved in a wreck, trying to come up through there. But that's just the risk you take in these races in WDRL. That's the nature of these races, especially at the short tracks. So it's kind of like playing the lottery. You just gotta go for it.
Well, it's the first edition of this season. It's definitely not short of fireworks. We expect a lot more as the races go on. But Casey, you're able to finish third. Great job tonight out there, man. Anyone you want to thank, shout out before we end it and wrap up this thing with you?
Yeah, just everybody at Windshield Deep, RJ and Dylan, Landon. They've all worked really hard this off season to, I think, improve this even more and make it a big deal with the payout thing and everything. So just thanks to those guys having a fun league to race in.
Absolutely. Casey Pierce, your third place finisher. Awesome job, man. Go get him next week.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Kevin, I think that about wrap it up. I guess we'll go down the running order one final time and go ahead and get on out of here. But, of course, your winner, Landon Huffman, takes the checkered flag tonight. Oliver Cordell, a great run, 33rd to 2nd on the grid here. Casey Pierce, 3rd. Drew Cox is able to bring this home in 4th. Dylan Wilson, 5th. Ricky, okay, you know what? We're gonna take a little different route. Is he
A little
still
bit
in
of an
here?
audible. Let's see if he's on here.
He is not in here yet. He is not in here. So I think he's left us. I wanted to talk to Ricky, see how the heck he was able to do it.
What a
but
performance.
he is finishing 6th. Did not pit at all in the race. Unbelievable stuff. Big shout out to Ricky. Andy Trupiano will finish 7th. Matt Kingsbury will finish in 8th. Cameron Bolin, a great start to his Windshield Deep career in 9th. And another great start to his Windshield Deep season. Davey Davis will round out the top 10.
Face diversity a lot tonight. Daryl McKee will finish 11th. Kevin Light finishes in 12th. Lance Ripka will finish 13th. Matt Light in 14th. Dominic Corelli started 38th up to 15th. Good run for him. Eric Wilson pitted, I believe, 12 times overall. Finished 16th. Callum Pelfrey 17th. Grayson Ward struggled there at the end of that last lap wreck. Will go from 3rd to 18th. And Brett Pancari 19th. And Chris Davis, another guy who was running up front there late, will round out the top 20 in our last lead lap finisher will be Josh Cottle. A disappointing for him, I'm sure, 21st place finish.
Cody DeMarmos will finish 22nd. First car a lap down. Spencer Dickinson, another disappointing effort, will finish 23rd. Derek Nickel, 24th. And again, as we mentioned, Cody Kelly got caught up in that late incident, will finish 25th. Jacob Hayes will finish 26th. Anthony Woody probably had the most incidents we've seen in a long time in a windshield deep race. He'll bring that number 31 home 27th. Jack Bailey was involved in the first incident of the night, really set the tone for the rest of the race. He'll finish 28th. Joe Penley will finish 29th. Brian Smith will finish 30th. Seth Harrelson 31st. Dexter Knipe Jr. 32nd. And 33rd is Max Price.
Yeah, very eventful race for these guys. In the back, Lee Norton finishes 34th. Mason Maggio 35th. All these guys almost 100 laps down or more. Michael Robinson retired early. Jacob Bransky retired early. Ethan Tingler. And Garrett Gowan looks like he is going to officially be 162 laps down, 161 laps down. So not a good start for his windshield deep career. Can only go up from here, but I believe that'll do it, Sean. So I'll let you send it away. I believe this was a successful, for windshield deep's sake, a very successful week one.
Absolutely. And thanks again for everyone for watching, no matter where you're watching, the Windshield Deep Twitch page, Facebook page, and of course on YouTube. And also a special thanks to Rish for stepping in and producing the event. Did a great job all throughout. So big thanks to everybody involved. And again, same time next week, same places. Bristol for 100 laps next week. And if this was any indication on how the rest of the year is going to go, it's going to be nothing but fireworks. We're excited to bring it to you. But yeah, that'll do it. For everyone here at Windshield Deep, Kevin McAdams, Rich, my name is Sean. We'll catch you guys next week, and all of you guys have a great week. We'll see you later.